In this section, you are required to configure a dial plan for HQ, where there are 5 different tasks that we have to accomplish. Now, it is important that you read this particular lab very details. It can be quite confusing, and even though you may think that your pattern is working, but it may not be working if proper attention is not paid. So the first task is that all PSTN calls must include 9. So you have to dial 9 to send calls to PSTN. All the calls should use a local route group HQ gateway. You got item number 2 that says all HQ phones should use the local 7-digit calls with the following rules, such as after the access code, the next digit should be 229. And then this call should use a local gateway R1 as a primary route. 7-digit calling number should be displayed as a caller ID, and the calling name should also be sent to PSTN. Now for item number 3, which is for long distance, very similar requirements. Item number 4, however, is a little tricky. That's a TEHO. And then you have the item number 5, that is for international calls. For the TEHO part, that whenever you make a long distance calls to site B phone, such as 1972.525.2222, here pay attention. This is actually, they define a specific number. They did not say that any call to area code 972. They specifically mention only that particular number. So it is extremely important that you don't create a variable length pattern. So we're going to create a very specific pattern for that particular number, and then call should use a cube router as a first choice, and then to the call manager in site B, which will then use a local gateway in site B. So that is a TEHO call. For item number 5, the call should use international call should use a local gateway. You should dial 9 followed by 011. You have to keep in mind that if you read that above, it says that 011 should not be sent to the PSTN. So you are supposed to drop that number before the call is handed to the service provider. The caller ID should be globalized number. Calling name should be presented. Now all this must be achieved by a single route pattern, plus sign. However, exception to the SIP trunk. Now people don't often get it, that the SIP, what it means by that is that this exception applies to this particular task, because that is the